Presenting to you the squad of the next Champions League winner, which is going to be Juventus, the winner of the 2020 UEFA Champions League final. We will be doing the same exact video for Barcelona for the 2020-2021 Champions League season. So stay posted. One of the big clues out here to show you how to predict the winner of the Champions League is to go through the entire squad. The 2020 Champions League final is going to be the final of the 65th edition of the UEFA Champions League. There were 64 prior winners of what was first known as the European Cup. It is Juventus football club that equals 64. They are going to be the next team that is going to win after 65 prior Champions Leagues. In Italian gematria, it is 2019-20 Squadra Juventus that equals 65. First, we have the young Italian midfielder Federico Bernardeschi, who plays in the wing position. He set up the penalty that allowed Cristiano Ronaldo to score the winning goal against Atletico Madrid. It is Federico that equals 65. We have La Hoya de Bala, Paulo de Bala. Paulo equals 65. He is going to take off. Don't forget that he scored 7 goals, I think it was, during last year's Champions League, where he scored 5 goals. He's going to win 2020 final. Adrien Rabiot, one of the first signings for Juventus. He used to play at Paris Saint-Germain. This is a clue for this year's Champions League final. In fact, he is 24 years of age as well this year. We're going to discuss this some more. Gonzalo Higuain as well has some French descent. He was born at Brest, France. He is now reunited with his former manager over at Napoli. He scored 36 goals. He has the most goals in a single season. It's Rabiot. It is Coach Mauricio Sarri that equals 65. Now, Sarri's style does not involve heading the ball into the goal. Mario Mandzukic is still on the roster, but there isn't room for him to play. It's Mario that equals 29. Now, the site of this year's Champions League final is going to be over at Istanbul, Turkey. This is the site of the Champions League. In gematria, it is Mathis that equals 128. It is Turkey that has gematria of 128. This would be the 28th season ever since it was renamed the UEFA Champions League. This is why Juventus are going to win the Champions League with Mathis de Ligt playing this year with Chiellini's injury. Danilo on the wing, former teammate of Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus got him from Manchester City. He played 41 games with Real Madrid. Juventus last won the Champions League during the 41st edition of the Champions League. He played 34 games in Manchester City. He is now with Ronaldo. It is Ronaldo's gematria that has gematria of 34. So big clue there. Juventus paid 65 million euros for Danilo too. And it is João Cancelo that is now a Manchester City player. It is also Danilo that has gematria of 28. We have some Real Madrid guys on the team. It is Gianluigi Buffon that is going to be winning the Champions League this year. Gigi Buffon is born on the 28th day of the year. He is going to win the Champions League with Juventus. After 27 prior Champions Leagues, Juventus are going to win. Aaron Ramsey, one of the newest acquisitions on the team. Ramsey has gematria of 27. 27 prior finals with the competition being named the Champions League. Last Champions League final that Juventus was in was over at Cardiff, Wales in 2017. Aaron Ramsey is Dutch. Arsenal won the Europa, right? They lost the Europa thanks to Mauricio Sarri, and now here he is with Mauricio Sarri. He's going to win the Champions League with Juventus. Him being Welsh is a tribute to Juventus' last Champions League final. In Gematria, in Italian Gematria, the site of the Champions League final is Istanbul, Turkey. Istanbul, Turkey equals 61. This was also where AC Milan lost to Liverpool FC during the 2005 Champions League final. It is Liverpool FC that are the defending champion. This is where Juventus are trying to do what Liverpool did last year, which is to win the Champions League. Federico Bernardeschi, Miralem Pjanic equals 61 in Gematria. We had the Champions League final over at Turkey. Turkey in Italian Gematria equals 35. That is the Italian word for Turkey. Miralem equals 35. It is Demiral that equals 35. Young Uruguayan midfielder Rodrigo Betancourt equals 35. Now let's stop there. Demiral, Turkish defender. He has some subliminal messaging here due to the fact that Juventus signed him. It is Buffon's Gematria that is 28. He's a Turkish defender. He's from the country of Turkey. Buffon was born on the 28th day of the year. This is a clue that Gianluigi Buffon is going to be winning the Champions League over at Turkey. There's a reason why this defender wears number 28. It's because Turkey equals 20 in Gematria, and this is the 20th edition of the Champions League since it was renamed from the European Cup. Likewise, it is Istanbul. Former Real Madrid midfielder Sami Khedira. Now with Cristiano Ronaldo, he played on those Madrid teams. He won a Champions League with Real Madrid. It's Sami Khedira. It's Istanbul. It's Betancourt that equal 98. The team that is going to win the Scudetto, the Serie A title, is going to be playing over at Istanbul. Left wing back, Alexandro, his Gematria is 26. Midfielder, Miralem Pjanic's Gematria is 26. Go Juventus. Istanbul, Turkey have the same simple and Pythagorean Gematrias. It is Captain Chiellini. Capitano Chiellini's Gematria is 54. They are going to win the Champions League over at Istanbul, Turkey this year. Going back to Adrien Rabiot being one of the first signings for Juventus. Owner Agnelli, Juventus FC, Adrien, and Masonry all equal 33. Juventus wear the black and white Freemason stripes. Their last Champions League title occurred in 1996 against Ajax. It's Freemason. It's knowledge that equals 96. That's why the black and white striped team won the 96 Champions League final, because it was scripted back then as it was today. Balance, dominating Italy, but always falling short in the Champions League. That's the meaning of the black and white stripes there. It is knowledge that equals 42. It is Juventus. They're going to win the Champions League 24 years later with the former banker as the head coach, Mauricio Sarri. Now, Juventus are trying to make it to the Champions League final and to win it this year. Last year's final was at Madrid. That's where they wanted to be at last year. This is where they wanted to be at, and that's what they're trying to do this year. It is Madrid that equals 31. To get there, Juventus need to be a more balanced, dynamic side that can defend and attack at will. Madrid, the former Napoli man Mauricio Sarri, his playing style that became famous during his Napoli days. Napoli, longtime defender of Juventus Leonardo Bonucci, midfielder and winger Juan Cuadrado, the Colombian midfielder. Cuadrado equals 31 as well. When we talk about the Turkish defender number 28 being a subliminal tribute to Buffon winning the Champions League, 1996 is a 115-year numerology. Mary Demiral, Freemasons equal 115. Juventus last won the Champions League during the 41st Champions League. It's Juan Cuadrado. It is Ronaldo 7. Ronaldo 7. Bonucci 19 equal 41. Key contributors in the squad this year. Ligt 4. Ronaldo. Fine, the Italian word for end. The end of a Champions League drought this year. How about Higuain 21 and Cristiano both wearing 45? He's no longer number 9. He wears number 21. Higuain and Ronaldo. Number 21 and number 7 are going to make it to Turkey this year. Gonzalo Higuain still has some left in the tank. Pizza belly Higuain. Juventus' last Champions League final was played over at Wales. We talked about Aaron Ramsey. PSG are going to make it this year. It's Wales. It's PSG that equals 42 and 15. Gianluigi Buffon is currently 41 years of age right now. For the Champions League campaign that begins for the team that last won the Champions League during the 41st Champions League, Gianluigi Buffon is turning 42 years old on January the 28th of 2020. PSG, Alexandro Sami Khedira. Sami equals 42 and 15. Gonzalo Higuain having his career turned around by Mauricio Sarri. Andrea Barzagli is now on the coaching staff. He retired last year. It is official as of today, September the 25th. This is the squad of the 2019-20 Juventus team that is going to win the treble this year. It's treble that equals 26. It's Istanbul that equals 26. Sorry, Internazionale, y'all not going to win the Serie A this year. It's going to be Sarri that's going to lift the trophy this year. It won't be Napoli. This is your Champions League winning team for the 2019-20 Juventus team. And after the transfer window for 2020, the summer of 2020, we will do the exact video for FC Barcelona, the next Champions League winner after Juventus in 2020. 6 Champions League titles for Ronaldo, and then Messi still has 4. Juventus Football Club equals 64. Buffon equals 64. It's not going to be Messi 5, Ronaldo 5, because Italy last won the Champions League during the 55th Champions League. It's going to have to do with the gematria of Juventus. 2020 is a 4-year, so how can Lionel Messi win the Champions League in a 4-year? How can he? He can't. It's simple as that. He's going to be winning the 2020-2021 Champions League. And guess what? 2020-21 is a 41 year. The defending Champions League winner would be Juventus. Its last Champions League title before this season would be the 41st edition of the Champions League. And this concludes the video of the 2019-20 Squadra Juventus.